They got me for over 750,000. I'm serious, unfortunately.
Cryptocurrency scams increasing across the metro.
They'll see a document saying that they're making some money, let's do some more, making some money, let's do some more.
Scammers promising a major payout, only to leave unsuspecting victims holding the bag.
I was doing the transfers, and I was doing the withdrawal, so I felt like I was in full control.
A heinous assault on CU Boulder's campus.
It's just really upsetting. I want to feel safe here.
What the university is doing to keep students safe just days before the fall semester.
I just can't. I can't put into words how horrific this is.
And get ready for another price hike. The new potential charges coming for Excel customers.
Good evening and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter.
And I'm Amy Wattis. It's a topic we've been reporting on for several months, and it's now happening to people who live in the city of Lakewood. Police say they are falling for a scam involving cryptocurrency.
It's called the pig butcher scam. The victim is convinced to hand over their money to an unauthorized crypto investor. The scammer then puts the funds in an account which appear to grow in value. Then the scammer disappears along with a large amount of cryptocurrency.
I talked to a man who is now out of $750,000.
My whole life savings is pretty much gone.
$750,000. How much money a 46-year-old Cleveland, Ohio man says he lost after falling victim to what's called the pig butcher scam.
So the term pig butchering basically comes from a farmer fattening up the pig before they slaughter it. And in this case, it's the suspect who was fattening up their victim.
John Romero says in the last month, Lakewood police have had a couple people fall victim to the scam, and it's usually through social media and dating sites like LinkedIn and Tinder. They put out an alert on their Facebook page reminding people to stay vigilant.
I always thought, oh, I'll never fall for something like that.
The victim from Cleveland reached out to Denver 7 when he saw our story from December on 52-year-old Steve Belcher, who lost $1.6 million in this scam. So he wanted to share his story to help others. He says he talked to his scammer on Tinder for a few months, long enough for her to gain his trust, and that's when the crypto conversations began.
She told me about this site to sign up for, and that's what gave me the confidence, is that I was doing everything.
He was able to make a few withdrawals without a problem from the crypto account he set up, but soon after he could no longer access the money. Then this message from the scammer he shared with us, telling him he had to pay a $204,000 deposit to be able to access his crypto account, only then realizing he'd been scammed. Lakewood police say there's several things you can do to prevent this from happening to you.
It's one of those things where, never spend your money online with someone you don't know, especially if you've never met them in person.
And never give out your account information or forms of ID to someone you don't know.
Do your homework, and if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Lakewood police say the reality is that most victims of crypto scams will never see their money again. Regardless, you should give police a call right away if you suspect you might be a victim. Now, if you've been a victim of cryptocurrency scams, we want to hear from you. You can call Contact Denver 7 at the number on your screen or send an email to contact7@thedenverchannel.com.
Going further in depth tonight, a report published this week found $1.9 billion worth of cryptocurrency has been stolen this year. Blockchain analysis firm Chainalysis says that it's a 60% increase from the same period last year. The spike comes even as the value of many cryptocurrencies has plunged recently. Most of the hacks happened on decentralized finance protocols. That's when services replace traditional financial institutions with software so users can trade directly with each other. But these protocols can be vulnerable because of their open source code and large pools of assets.
An active scene in Aurora, police surrounding a home on 19th and Akron trying to arrest a fugitive. Police say they were able to clear the home, but the fugitive was not inside. 38-year-old Alexander Smith is wanted for 2 outstanding warrants, including one for escaping from the Department of Corrections. Anyone with information regarding his whereabouts should contact Crime Stoppers.
Denver police are looking for a driver who hit and killed a pedestrian Wednesday night and kept going. This happened shortly before 10:45 p.m. on eastbound West Colfax Avenue and before you get past Empower Field. Investigators believe the pedestrian was walking in the middle of the road when the driver hit them. A man we spoke with watched as drivers kept riding over and around the pedestrian. He waited for several minutes on hold with police before medics eventually arrived.
How could you possibly hit somebody and not call for help? I don't think most people are like that, but unfortunately the person who hit this person was.
Police want you to be on the lookout for a silver SUV or coupe with light to moderate front end damage to the front side. Call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers if you have any information.
CU Boulder police continue to investigate a report of a sexual assault at the Williams Village North Residence Hall. According to police, a man knocked on a student's door, and when she answered, he grabbed her by the neck and sexually assaulted her. Tonight, the suspect is still on the run. Students telling Denver 7 they are horrified.
It's just really upsetting. I want to feel safe here. I really love the campus here and I love Boulder and I would never want to leave. But I feel like if that happened to me, I would leave immediately. It was really upsetting. We woke up to it this morning.
My dad made sure that I had friends, that I stayed in a group, so I'm just going to stay in a bigger group now and make sure that we're always together. And it's definitely scary that one girl who's in her dorm where you're supposed to be safe, this happened to her.
Now, police have only released a vague description of the suspect. They're describing him as a white, college-aged male with dirty blonde hair, approximately 6 feet tall. Now, anyone with any information is asked to call the CU Boulder detective working the case. His number is 303-492-4469.
One of the teenagers accused of intentionally starting a house fire that killed a family of 5 in Green Valley Ranch will face a trial. 18-year-old Kevin Bowie pleaded not guilty to the 60 counts against him today, which include first-degree murder, arson, and burglary. Just over 2 years ago, a Senegalese family, a toddler, a child, and 3 adults were all killed in a fire at their Green Valley Ranch home. Bowie will be tried as an adult despite being 16 years old at the time of the crime.
Xcel is wanting to raise natural gas prices. Residential customers would pay about $4 more a month. Businesses would also see a price hike. The new prices could start in November if approved by the Colorado Public Utilities Commission. The Department of Regulatory Agencies held a meeting for public comment today. Anyone that could not make it can still submit a comment on the agency's website.
The high school sports season has arrived in Colorado, but a lack of referees is shaking up schedules for multiple teams across the state.
And as Denver 7's Russell Haythorne reports, they are citing a combination of poor pay and unruly parents for the shortage.
Game night here at Hinckley High School as Hinckley takes on Prairie View in volleyball. Chassa says the need for officials is so great, they're asking more teams and more districts to move off of popular weekend nights and to more weeknights like this, even football being asked to move off of Friday nights to more Thursday nights and Saturday afternoons. The shortage of officials is already impacting football to the point where many teams have agreed to move games from Friday nights to Thursdays and Saturdays. Chassa says, quote, "We are really in a crisis right now." Officials say the 2 biggest factors keeping them away are low pay and unsportsmanlike conduct from parents and fans. 2 things Chassa says it will address this year. The assistant commissioner telling Denver 7 they plan to take real action beginning this year if a parent or fan becomes unruly, a promise to officials to be more proactive.
Now to me it's more of we have to control it and we have to put our foot down and say we can't have that because we're not going to have officials. And if we don't have officials, we're not going to have games.
They are a vital part of the DNA of all sports, right? But a lot of these officials, they're just tired of being berated,
Chassa says the need for officials this fall spans all sports. They say they don't have enough officials for varsity games, let alone sub-varsity games. When I asked how many more referees they need statewide, they couldn't put a number on it. They just said a whole bunch. I'm Russell Haythorne for Denver 7.
I think the country depends on information. We want to know what's in there.
The reason behind the FBI's search of Mar-a-Lago closer to release.
The judge's decision about the affidavit's release now being set into motion.
Colorado will stay dry and mild tonight with slightly cooler temperatures tomorrow. Wetter days are on the way just in time for the weekend. I'll have your full forecast coming up.